Hello folks over here on ZSR and welcome over officially to the first qualifier match of the Wind Waker Randomizer Season 8 tournament. Hope you're all having an amazing day, and yeah, let's get this party started. I've got a couple of awesome volunteers on my side. For tracking, we have Spread, Laz, Kenyon, and Clam, and together on commentary with me is Logar. How are you doing, my friend? Are you
Doing
excited?
pretty good. I'm very excited for this season. I mean, my first season was with the mini blintz, so this is actually also going to be not only my first time commentating, like actually just in general, but also my first time getting to see a regular season tournament going on. So I'm excited.
Yeah, very excited, especially since we have got very fresh settings this time around. Pretty wild ones, I want to say, especially since they've been quite a shakeup from the prior seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly,
I mean, in terms of like hints, there's a plethora of hints to go around for the seed.
Oh yeah, hints will be overloaded with information.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Which will be very interesting to see.
Yeah, what have we got? We got King of Red Lions, of course. Actually, King of Red Lions, we have two different spots where King of Red Lions gives us multiple hints. So he's kind of got a big brain. He knows the future. Both your normal start of the seed hints, which we'll probably see the runners get out of their boat, check what King of Red Lions has to talk about. But then also now in Hyrule, if you go there and you talk to him at the introductory section before going into the castle, he will show you, what was it, all the swords now, where all of the Master Sword progressions are, which is insane.
It's quite massive, and that's not the only hints we'll be seeing this race.
What else we have?
Because we also have shard hints on the 10 different ho-hos, open ho, if if you remember those, which tell you which shards are where. So the location of ho-hos and also how the shards look like will be coming quite in handy. Yep. And to top it all off, our favorite enjoyer of the lighthouse, Mr. Creep himself, gives us information about all the bows in the sea. For that hint, we need fire and ice and magic, though. So he essentially only gives us the light hints, and we are off with the first qualifier. And we're starting on Angular with a spiky on top.
That's nice.
Okay, and yeah, basically everyone already going for that. Understandably so.
Yeah, it's like everyone's getting, except for I believe on my side, it looks like Lyric has not started yet. Maybe that's just on my side.
Oh, she's at the top actually, and we start with we get Triforce Shard 5.
Nice little piece of cheese. So another thing, just at the beginning, while everyone's kind of getting their information going, that I think is really interesting also is the use of Dungeon Entrance Randomizer this season.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Basic in a nutshell. I mean, I just learned about it myself, but so each of the dungeons we expect generally within a, like, let's say in Mini Blends last season, that when you go into Wind Temple, you're going to get Wind Temple. When you go into Dragon Roost Island, Dragon Roost Cavern, you're going to get Dragon Roost Cavern.
Yep.
Those are now completely split up. So if I go to Dragon Roost Cavern, I could be going to Forbidden Woods. The only exception to that being Forsaken Fortress, since there's no loading zone to go from there to Forsaken Fortress. That one's going to stay the same. And because of that, actually, I think now within our kind of seed generation, that Helmrock King is more likely to be one of the 4 bosses. So.
Yep, exactly. Oh yeah, don't worry why I'm a bit more quiet, because I'm currently dealing with all the hints. But I will be done very soon, so don't worry.
Yeah. To continue with the dungeon entrance randomizer, though, since we have path hints, so path hints being items that are on path to a certain boss in terms of progression items, like generally one item will then allow you to get another item, so on and so forth, until you reach an item that you need for the boss. Now, our path hints will give us an item basically just within that sort of sequence. But since we have dungeon entrance randomizer, you could get stuff like where Iron Boots is now path to Goma, or something like Power Bracelets is on path to Calidemos, depending on what the dungeon entrances. And that's kind of cool because you can really kind of infer a lot of stuff. One thing about dungeon entrance randomizer is it's kind of like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get until you open it up, you taste it. So some of these runners might go into Headstone a bit early just to see what dungeon it is. Or maybe they realize that their path item to, say, Calidemos is Power Bracelets. Well, then they can probably make an assumption that it's going to be Headstone. So I'm interested to see how runners will leverage that sort of information or lack of information for path hints to their advantage this qualifier. Looks like we have Kit and Gymnast both going nighttime windfall. Seems pretty standard for a for a Pictoless start.
Absolutely does.
Starting items, I don't know what they got. Looks like they got.
As a starting item, we have a wallet, it seems, because I saw our runners check the wallet mail at the very start, and we got a bottle from that.
Yeah, it seems so.
Yeah, Bobby already doing like one of the most obnoxious submarines, the not unfairy one.
Yeah, with the rope swing, I agree. In practice, I have fallen many a time to this submarine's rope.
Yeah, and that's, I think, shards. No, wait, that's not shard 7, because shard 7 is on 15 blue chews, which is another new check, or like part of a group of new checks, because if you look at the tracker, we have a spoils bag now, which isn't just for one singular check like it was in Season 7, but it also is used for a couple more checks, like the 15 green chews turn in on Windfall, the 20 skull necklaces, or also the 10 Knight's Crest for Orca. And to make that a lot less of a hassle, we start with all of the sufficient amount of spoils at the very start, except for the blue chews, which our runners need to grab 5 of.
Hopefully all the runners know that you can grab the chews and the spoils bag without, you can grab it without the spoils bag and it'll still count towards it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure most of the runners know about that.
Okay. Except for me. Well, I'll never make that mistake again.
Yep. Once you learn about it, you'll never forget about it, hopefully.
I mean, that's also a cool thing about the current season is that these runners aren't just kind of locked into this, whatever they get time with this seed is going to be what qualifies them towards the upper or lower bracket, because they will have at least 3 more chances. So if they make a mistake along the lines of like, you know what, didn't like this seed, didn't like my time, they've got more chances.
Yeah. Exactly. They can take part in all of the 8 qualifiers, but only the first 4 will count to their score. Will be calculated for the score, and the final score of the runners is basically just made up of the 2 best qualifiers. Although it seems like we got a lot of shards early so far.
That's a bit scary. Whenever I get too many shards early on, I'm always just like, man, is it gonna be Master Sword Chamber? Just in the back of my mind.
Always, yeah.
So, looking at the bosses, looks like we got Calidemos, that's pretty good. Helmrock King, of course, be more likely. Generally, I'm expecting to go to Forsaken Fortress. We got Godin and we have Goma, so pretty light in terms of like the difficult dungeons, right? Since I think most
Yeah,
runners are
absolutely.
generally going to say that Wind Temple and Earth Temple are some of the more obnoxious dungeons to complete.
Yeah, both in terms of item requirements, and also just for the clearing in general.
Mhm. Like, I know some of the runners, especially Bobby, like, depending on how many items you have, they might just completely kill your overworld just so that you can potentially go mode Earth Temple or go mode Wind Temple, because being able to do that and not having to do those checks saves a lot of time. So
Yeah, exactly.
they don't really have to worry about that with this seed, at least.
Yep. Jim
Ooh, I
already
like Jim this
remembering
color.
one of the twos.
Yeah, he's good there.
Another fairy, I'm pretty sure Bobby also grabbed those.
Yeah, it seems like they are routing exceptionally well right now. Cool to see Gymnast back.
Yeah. Jim and Kick are basically holding hands for the first 8 minutes.
That's nice. I like this.
Like, they're extremely synced right now.
Yeah, I'm watching on my screen. Is like probably like
only a couple of frames apart.
Yeah, exactly. This is insane. Okay, so I mean,
Got for Rose Bros, so we do have a dungeon entrance accessible to us. I didn't really pay attention to if Tower of the Gods is actually a required dungeon, or has a entrance to a required dungeon. I guess we'll see that after one of the runners warps away next.
Oh, Bobby seems to have stored Mila.
Oh, the Mila cutscene.
Yeah, I've had that happen a couple times.
Yeah, for me personally, I like mitigate that by getting taught first, and then storing the door to House of Wealth.
Interesting. Yeah, it was so good on him to notice that. There's kind of like this little like stutter there.
Yeah.
That happens when you store the cutscene. But
it's really, it can be really incremental if you fail to notice it.
Yeah, because then you're going into House of Wealth. I mean, you can still get those checks, but then you have to redo Mila.
Yeah, exactly. It just costs you quite a bit of time. Because you still have to wait for Mila anyway.
Okay, how's Kit doing on the rope swing? Is he going to do the skip? Ooh, okay. There's a little quick hop
I think
there.
that's like the jump I also really tend to make a lot. Between like the last and the second last rope. Yeah, Loric also going for it.
Yeah. I will say of the 4 runners we have today that are on restream, they're playing very clean right now, which is really nice to see.
Absolutely, yeah. Oh, by the way, we're only 1 shard away from having knowledge about all of them.
Oh man.
Because we know that one of the shards is on 15 blue chews.
Okay, so we're just missing one.
One of them was Tingle, one of them was on the Northern Ferry submarine.
Interesting.
And I don't know where the last 2 were.
Where is KitKat going with this? He's going up towards... Yeah, because there's a person up here who might have some information for us. There is a ho-ho.
The ho-ho.
At the top of Outset.
Yeah, it's a play.
He might just...
Ooh, that's magic. And it looks like we found Forbidden Woods and Tower of the Gods.
Yeah. So, Oh wait, oh, okay. Yeah, we got Lyric using the nut to break open the door. I like that. Yeah, so it was Forbidden Woods and Tower of the Gods, and actually Kit has some information for us just from that ho. There's a shard in Forbidden Woods now, so...
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you, by perchance, remember which one it was? Because I
mean, I'm guessing since all the runners have only 2 shards left now, that... Well, at least except for Bobby. There's gonna be 1 for the blue chews, yeah? and then one
Yeah,
forbidden woods.
that's the last chart we need knowledge about. So that's pretty good information for KitKat.
Very.
And yeah, being forbidden woods without leaf feels extremely wrong. But we have a potential path item with the magic.
Yep.
At the very least.
Looks like everyone's been saving Grandma. Happy to see that.
Everyone's a good grandson today.
Yes. Okay. Bobby also now has, I believe, 6 of the 8 shards. Oh, wait, how many is it? 9.
It's 8 shots in total.
Okay. I can't count. Interestingly enough, we always start with when it comes in terms of shard numbers, 1, 2, and 3.
Yep, exactly.
So 4 through 8 will always be kind of scattered about the overworld and dungeons.
Exactly.
And it looks like I forget where Lyric got the grapple hook, but it's nice that
that was I think on Bomb Island, actually, on the platform.
Oh, okay, so she's gonna get a leg up there, having checked Bomb Island a bit early, because now she's gonna be able to.
Yeah, also decided against bottling up a ferry and used it instead to fill it with water, so she can access the DRC entrance.
Like
Very
that.
smart, since for the season, DRC also has a dungeon warp now outside of the island. And that is Tower of the Gods in the DRC entrance.
Yep. It looks like Lyric will, and I actually like this about how Lyric is doing this. Since she's already here, she's just kind of checking some spots in 4-1.
Yeah, mainly hop across. And then dip out again. Save warp anyway.
Yeah. Last thing you want is to leave and then realize that maybe 30-40 more minutes into the sea that one of those items was actually necessary for your progression, since technically it is available to you. So
yeah,
I don't mind this. Same thing with like Wind Temple, but we won't be seeing that this qualifier. I'm guessing she'll also, what items does she have? Grappling hook. So we're not gonna go see bombing the wall or the dungeon secret. Probably just gonna be
Dawn Crescent.
Ooh, that's nice. We got those 2 chews there. Gotta love Crescent for those 2 chews there. Makes routing in the other 3 so much easier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, Poppy went back for the other Ho-Ho, which we'll know will just be a duplicate. Yep, and healer was sure he got.
Yep.
Now Gymnast and Bobby holding hands for a second, or did Bobby already get the ghost ship? Oh, he's going to submarine first, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
Okay, I also spent the time quickly looking back at the VOD, and I can now say that in Forbidden Woods is shard 6.
Nice. Okay. I mean, again, with the kind of plethora of hints, like, I think one of the things we'll see from, was it Lyric? No, it was KitKat that saw that. Is maybe he'll leverage that then to go to Hyrule early to find the next sword, next 2 swords.
Yep.
Essentially. And it'd be kind of unfortunate if he just happens upon those swords without that information, because it'd be nice to kind of have that margin to exploit if the other runners don't necessarily know that shard 6 is in Forbidden Woods. But
yeah,
that's kind of one of the interesting things about this season, in my opinion, is of course the hints, but then sometimes you just might stumble across the items just based on optimal routing. So it's kind of a balance of those two, of not only leveraging the information that you have available to you, but then also knowing how that interacts with just good routing.
Yeah, personally, I really like to route in the Ho-Ho hints early, especially like on Outset and Crescent, just because I really like playing for the information, and that's our second Sword and Diamond step.
Nice from KitKat. Looks like Gymnast is going to do Diamond step skip here. Don't mind this. Interestingly enough, no hookshot or Deku Leaf early in the sea, which is kind of a bit unfortunate. I would say Hookshot and Deku Leaf are two major items that help speed up a seed right now. The Hookshot for actually some skips, but then also the submarines. Not submarines, lookout platforms.
Yeah.
And then Deku Leaf for the submarines and just overall powerful item.
Yeah, it's really funny how those two items who have quite similar uses in terms of getting like overworld checks, each have their own specific niche for other overworld checks. Like you already said, Leaf for the submarines and Hookshot for the lookout platforms. I really like that.
They do have one spot in common. Can you guess what that is?
Leaf, horseshoe, maybe?
Yeah, horseshoe. Yeah, horseshoe skip. Which, I mean, that's...
Either just normally or doing leafless golf, if you have hookshot.
Yeah. Which it looks like, again, with neither of those items, it seems like most of the runners have decided to abandon horseshoe as part of their lower left side routing this seed.
Yeah. And agreed,
Usually it is-
the outside ho-ho really isn't bad if you're on outside for the first time and it is not hinted Baron, since you can just jump down to Mesa's house.
Hmm.
Okay,
like
nice
he's
door
got-
cancel from Bobby. With
Very
double
good cancel.
spiky up in Lenzo's attic. And that's a
There's the
leaf.
Okay, that's nice for Bobby.
That's really fire.
Hookshot. No,
And bait
bait
bag. It would have been extremely funny to have both of the items that we talked
Yeah.
about be in the exact same
That's what I was
spot.
hoping for. That's
Just
what I was
being
hoping for.
next to each other, yeah.
I mean, yeah, Bobby now getting Deku Leaf. Looking at his... I hope you'll exit out of the map because I'm curious what his left side's looking like now. Has he gone to Diamond Step yet?
Pretty sure he didn't, no. Because he only has
Okay.
one sword.
Okay, well then that means maybe we might see kind of that more full clear of that left side where he'll go Windfall. Or not Windfall. Outset, Horseshoe, and then Diamond Step. Up. Okay. Tanju's always right. Skip these
Yeah.
two. They did nothing.
Skip Poppy and Vera.
The more I've played and the more I've kind of watched other runners, the more I tend to agree with him.
Yeah, I mean, Tanjira's a very specific, or like very extreme case, even because this guy is skipping Poppy and Vera quite consistently.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, with a Picto this early, it would have definitely weighed on his mind if he were to do that.
But definitely first seasons where it's like, if you're not getting picked up early, it's just like Tanjira's gonna skip the Poppy and Vera.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh, Spoils back on Miss Marie.
Like okay, it looks like.
And funnily enough, all the spoils checks are in logic because we know that where the grapple is.
Yeah, we do.
Which was also Sphere 0.
Okay, so it looks like Bobby's gonna go clear out some of those. He's still missing, I think it was one more Blue Chew, so
yeah,
have to dip one more time, but that's fine. It's not like
yeah, he can just get the shard on like the next Windfall dip, whatever that may be.
It's not necessarily gonna be an item he needs to get right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Until he dips Forbidden Woods and realizes that he can see where the last two swords are, but that's probably...
Yeah, also seems like he's saving up those the 15 green chew check until he has all the blue chews just to only go into the Potion Brewer's house once and not twice.
I mean, Bobby's a smart runner. He's probably got a lot of stuff planned out right now. And he's like, there's no
100%.
shortage of checks right now. I can take my time. Figure out all this other stuff, then come backwards and save the 20 to 30 seconds it takes to go into the potion shop.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, looks like Jim has all the 15 blue chews he needs.
Nice.
According to his tracker, because I do see the green marking on the number. And yeah, Crescent is incredibly good, the seed, which is why it's really a bummer if it ever gets into Baron. Because it has 2 checks, it has 2 very accessible blue chews, and it also has the Ho-Oh hint.
Very nice spot. And actually,
and also
about...
the submarine, like, in addition to the chest.
The 2 checks. Exactly. One thing about this
and if you get Ghost Ship shot early enough, you could also route in Ghost Ship with it. Oh, and there's the hook shot on the 50 green choose.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay, nice. Both items on Windfall that we talked about.
Yeah. It looks like...
So that's really good for Kit, honestly.
Paths.
And also for Lyric.
Forbidden Woods, we got... Yeah, outset the Golden Windfall, then to Coma. So that's nice to have all those items just on Windfall. Looks like Lyric's also got that. Forbidden Woods to Kale Demos, which is interesting. I'm guessing that's then going to be just Boomerang. So I wonder if any of our runners will pick
I mean, Forbidden Woods to KD could also just be the magic we found extremely early.
Oh, that's fair. Okay, that's true. Bobby going for the kind of alternate hop across, not hop across, fly across. Skip. I like this one.
Yeah, same. It is a very fun one, honestly.
You gotta be very careful with your walking up, because if you're walking a bit too fast, you'll start to drop down.
Yep, instead of ascending, you're descending.
Piece of heart.
And the last sword. Okay.
Okay. So, again, with those hints, yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that it looks like... I'm guessing the runners probably are going to be dipping Master Sword Chambers to check for their hints, just because... Again, all these runners are fairly good. They're actually very, very good. And they're also going to not only use the hints, but have optimal routing. And it seems like that routing is just putting the swords right into their lap already. There we go. So we're getting Bobby dipping into Forbidden Woods, which is what I expect. It seems like a good time to do that when you have Leaf.
Yeah, can get a couple of checks. Not all of them, because he does not have like a boomerang replacement, like, for example, Hookshot would have been.
Interesting, okay.
So decides to just dip out again. Makes perfect sense.
Okay, where's he warping? Probably, yeah.
I imagine Kit will maybe go a bit further, though.
I can see that, yeah.
Yeah, especially since he has Hookshot and can, for example, just get the top chest on top of the second room.
Yeah. I wonder if we'll see Kit dip the potion shop and get Hookshot.
Okay, that's no Tamam in Sphere Zero Pauperant. Okay, looks like the chest down here is also spiky. I cannot remember what the Rick picked up here. Honestly.
I believe Lyric just looked at the chest.
Oh, it's the key. It's just a small key. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, for everyone that doesn't know about that, we also start with all the boss keys in these settings. So boss key skips are essentially a thing of the past for Season 8.
Yeah. I think it comes up way more... it's more relevant with the Wind Temple. Ooh, Kit. Ooh. Okay, gonna waste a couple...
Not getting enough fight.
Good save.
Yeah,
with Wind Temple and Earth Temple. We'll see probably in some other qualifiers that it makes just the go mode routing of those 2 dungeons a bit more linear.
Yeah, exactly, and also make the heart containers those spheres.
Ooh.
That also helps.
But other than that, kind of just a nice little quality of life improvement. Helps make the boss item, I guess, a little bit more relevant. It might be a brush item, but...
Yep. Ooh.
Generally, I'm still getting some rupees from defeating Volgera or something.
Yeah, same. Or just straight up downgrades in the form of heart pieces.
Yes.
Ooh, that's fun as a decision for Forbidden Woods routing by Kit. Choosing to take the storage from the first room, or like from the second room, and yeah, carrying that over on that skull hammer.
Interested
on,
to see
the Horseshoe Cave.
I want to know what
50.
his game plan is, Kit. Because right now, how's he killing Kalidemos?
He doesn't. That's the thing. With hookshot, I'm pretty sure you basically cannot kill KD.
I've tried before, so
Because
I
cutting down
be
the vines
inclined to
just
agree.
takes way too long.
It does, yeah. So I'm curious if he's banking on the on-path item in Forbidden Woods to be the boomerang, and if it is, then he's heavily rewarded.
Yeah, I think it is just gonna be the magic though, but I'm happy to be proven wrong.
Yeah. But I mean,
but magic just seems like it would just be the most logical so far.
Yeah. I mean,
okay, very scuffed early diamond step by Bobby, but gets it.
I've had that happen a couple times where, yeah,
yeah, same.
The dude comes up and it's just like, oh, I was really close. I think generally there's like a nice there's a slight visual cue you can tell just like based on how much you're put into the, what was it, Octorok?
Yeah. Like the big Octo.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, and Lyric already doing Orca. And gets rewarded with bombs.
That's insane.
Oh my.
Yep.
That is incredible, honestly.
Orca is probably the exact same emotions Lyric's feeling after finding those bombs early like that.
Yep, the bombs are huge. Because now nice. Lyric could and also Lyric picked up the boomerang. It seems I completely missed that. Apparently.
Yeah, okay. So that might be a bit of an unfortunate thing for Kit because both of the relevant items, except for maybe Bow. I guess we could see Bow at some point.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
But if Bow is past the Godin, then it might be a bit kind of awkward.
It's likely just the bombs, but to be honest.
Oh yeah, because yeah, outset. Okay, so Kit could still be saved by Bow.
Yep. But... instead, he gets bombarded with letters.
Yeah, love letters. It's nice to see bombs there.
Yeah.
I guess a little unfortunate that Lyric routed in early Bomb Island to get those outside checks, but not too much of a waste. I'd definitely say getting it here is very nice to see.
Absolutely.
I like the purple leaf. It's cool.
The purple leaf is really stylish, yeah.
We've got Bobby now going to go ship. Okay, so wanted to kind of greed having the leaf before having to do it.
Yep.
Don't necessarily mind that at all. And then what is Lyric doing here?
Oh, door canceling into ET entrance.
Ooh, okay. I've been
play
thinking about
that
this a little
I
bit.
like a lot as well.
That's nice. I like this.
Because at this point we know that it's gonna. She also knows that it's gonna be DRC. Because she knows about both Todd G and
like
Forbidden
that.
Woods.
That's been one thing that's been like on my mind and was a talking point was like, yeah, Headstone. Just because it is locked behind Power Bracelets, but yeah, if we have double Dungeon Entrance Randomizer, it's more attractive to want to do these sort of stuff early when you have that information available to you. Oh, I know these dungeons are this, so logically this has to be this. So
yeah,
I do like this decision from Lyric. I think she'll be rewarded fairly heavily for this. Especially just being able to now, I believe she's done all of the checks on Windfall, unless I'm mistaken. Except for Big Pig, right? Because we don't have Power Bracelets. But
yeah,
maybe she'll opt to skip that. And if it's dead, then she's pretty rewarded for only having to dip outset twice.
Yeah.
You're in for the day.
Imagine
though,
if Bobby is Not too happy about that hookshot placement, but at least he can just route in the blue chews as well.
Yeah. Gymnast being berated by Orca right now.
Yep, because he doesn't have magic. Oh my! I didn't notice that
I wonder.
he just started the 500 hits.
Enough.
Okay,
This is
Jim's now also
unfortunate.
gonna find out the hard way that, hey, you need magic for this check. Okay, and there's the last shard in Forbidden Woods. As hinted by the outside ho-ho.
Yep. But good job with Lyric again for that door cancel, especially if it's blind. Oh, well, as soon as I congratulate her on doing some hard stuff, making it look easy, she makes that throw. No, but in all seriousness, that is doing that stuff blind is pretty difficult, I would say.
It definitely takes quite a bit of practice. Master Chamber is not dead in these settings. It is as valid of a check as in previous seasons.
Okay, and now
Shard path could be possible, but extremely unlikely, I want to say.
What do we got behind here? Is that spiky? Is that spiky? What is Lyric thinking?
Cabana Deed. That is useless because Private Oasis was at the Baron.
Rip. You hate to see that.
Yep, you absolutely do.
Ooh, is that bow? Oh, key. Okay.
Also looking at the...
Yet.
Yeah, looking at the windfall path for Goma, I think it could be either the leaf, honestly, or it's we have something on windfall that leads to power bracelets.
Could be. Yeah, I'm inclined to
because the
believe
grapple
in
was
that.
P0 on Bomb Island.
It was, yeah. Probably have bow-locked bows for this seed, it seems like. Potentially.
Yeah, Jim didn't even spend the Knight's Crest because they only get consumed once you actually perform the Hurricane Spin.
Makes sense.
If
That
you
would
cannot
be,
charge it, they also will not get consumed.
That would be unfortunate to have to grind out some Knight's Crests for a mistake like that. That's basically that would basically be a run-ending mistake.
Yeah.
Ooh, Skullhammer.
It definitely would.
I believe we don't have Wind Temple entrance.
Nope.
We don't have Gale Island. Okay.
Nope. Wind Temple entrance is not needed, just like Forbidden Woods entrance.
Okay. So Skullhammer basically just for Helm Rock King.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I think these runners are gonna be a bit annoyed when they eventually, unless they just don't find the iron boots. Just because those are gonna be completely useless this seed.
Yes, they already have check Tot.
Oh.
Ooh, they're extending this chest to potentially skip a small key in this dungeon.
Don't mind this.
It seems like Bobby is also now making his way into TRC. Or into the entrance at least. So he will be greeted by the tower.
So I'm interested, like from Lyric's point of view, maybe I'm mistaken about this, but based on she didn't get the second small key here, it has to be in big key chest.
It could be. It could also just be that. Oh no!
Ooh. Oh.
Wait, can she?
This. Oh no.
Oh no! Oh, that's sad.
That would have been clutch. That's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, that would have been absolutely incredible.
That would have been insane.
But yeah, the small key can be in the boss key chest.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's another spot it could be right now. Like
Could also just be
logically.
in Bird's Nest, and then the path
Probably, yeah.
would just point to power bracelets.
Yeah. I guess Lyric wanted to make that gamble that it's not, and if it's not, then she'll be rewarded by being able to skip the big key.
Yeah,
It
okay,
looks
it's a small key in the boss key chest.
Okay. Heads up on
At
Lyric.
At
make that
least Lyric
decision.
has all the stuff she needs for that.
Yeah, it's just a bit annoying to make the correct read, mess up on the execution, and then realize that's the worst case scenario that you hoped for.
Yep, exactly.
We've got Bobby now doing Forsaken Fortress. I like that.
Oh no, it's Jim doing Forsaken Fortress. Bobby
Jim, sorry.
is doing Tower of the Gods.
Okay, and I now know it's Jim because I don't think I ever see Bobby go for that window skip that way before. He always seems to kind of target and walk off.
Oh yeah, I basically do it the way Jim does, just basically YOLO jumping.
Yeah, I think you can get fairly consistent. I think it's all about timing mainly, and like
yeah,
people,
it is.
It can be pretty punishing, but sometimes you've got to go for you got to do the second time saves that might cost you a minute, and that's where a lot of these runners will increase their margins over each other just by those risky gambles that save a couple seconds but lose a minute.
Yeah.
Jim getting the second pick to box. Like to see that. That's always nice, especially when he's probably already planning in a second dip, or a dip just into Windfall. Being able to have that pick to box also open and go check it off.
It's also very funny that 3 out of the 4 runners are just in the same dungeon.
I like that. Yep.
And then Lyric is just doing her own thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely
pretty
say
successfully, so I would say.
Agreed. I'll be interested to see how the times shake up based on Lyric's decision to do DRC early. It doesn't seem like she's gotten really an extra item. Yeah, that's potentially relevant. But who knows? She might get something. She's still got like what, 1, 2, 3, 4, good like 7 or 8 checks.
A couple checks.
Yeah, like she gets bow, and I think that would be a very big find here.
Yeah, and I mean the other runners also still have to find the grapple in the first place.
Very true. Yeah, it seems like they've
since
all
they all don't have bombs or power bracelets.
That is true.
Although with hookshot, maybe Bobby goes for the hookshot clip.
That'd be fun to see.
Yeah. Would likely have to get storage at an earlier point, which would likely just be on Forest Haven. But we'll have to see.
Yes, it seems like in sort of like it's cool lyrics using the stick to that was I don't know if that was just her being cute. That was kind of funny. Burning the bridge behind you.
Yep, it is very funny.
It seems kind of awkward to do this sort of with optimal, like quote unquote optimal routing, just with like the items that you have, just because headstone's a bit power bracelet locked.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
So you have those margins just by being able to recognize, hey, I know DRC's here, I want to go for this early. I've got this trick in my bag, I'm gonna use it. It was very cool. See, I don't think I've ever had the privilege to see someone do that in a race before.
It definitely is a privilege, and I know how much Lyric loves it. That's a useless Tingle statue.
Oh.
Because Tingle is not, or like Ankle is not a check in these settings.
Bow and Master Sword Chamber would be an interesting thing.
Yeah, I mean, we do have the knowledge about all of the shards, so it's definitely not all of
crazy is the first, like, again, bow locked bows, and have the first bow be in Master Sword Chamber would be certainly a interesting, logical part of the randomizer here.
Yep. Oh, Jim.
Ooh, yeah. I hate when this happens.
I am kind of worried about Hammerrock now flying away. Okay.
Okay, there we go. Oh.
Oh, there we go. Nice.
Woo.
Yeah, because I think as soon as you destroy Hammerrock's mask, and it flies away, and he flies away again afterwards, Hammerrock always just bonks on the tower.
I think I've had. Yeah, I might be wrong about this because this was probably a long time ago, like or at least like a couple months. He will fly back sometimes, depending on your positioning probably, but it's like gonna be run-inning at worst, and then like a couple probably a minute or two time loss at best. So,
Yeah. Okay. That magic currently is magic locked.
at least for me, when it comes to like how I set up that to get down from the top of the jail, I'll do 2 backflips and then walk and then roll off, so that I'm like going upright, basically. So I'm basically holding down left when I'm rolling, and that always like puts me on top of that little kind of like arch where Bobby just landed, and that seems to be pretty useful.
Yeah, same.
And it's just nice to have a setup for that.
Oh, and there's a bow on arrow mail, it seems.
What mail was that?
Yeah, I think that was arrow mail.
Oh, okay, arrow. Okay.
Because you know that Tangle mail is dead.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and that's another bow on the ankle!
Oh man, Gymnast is like.
Oh my.
That is a very nice find from Gymnast. I like that.
Yeah, and funnily enough, he cannot even put them to use because he doesn't have magic.
Oh, jeez. That is.
He's never been to Forbidden Woods yet.
That is so troll.
Yep, it really is. Also, very scuffed campground Hammerrock for Bobby, in my opinion.
Fair, a little bit. But Creepers and Shambles, yeah, maybe. I mean, still Creep's gonna give us some information where the light arrows are, so.
Exactly.
I would say this season, generally the Blue Creepers are eating pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get to see Creep a ton in these settings, usually.
I will say.
Hit. Now also gonna get his bombs on Orca.
Yeah, he has.
Watch his speed light arrows.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool. I have a little confession to make. I have done horseshoe before, tried to do the skip, and there's a spot where you can use your Deku Leaf to ledge grab to skip the second vines. I've done that before, and immediately realized, oh, I don't have magic.
Yeah.
So that's definitely like a little slight kind of awareness check from some of the winners. Is just gonna be, do they remember to have magic? And of course, over the couple of qualifiers, once they've gotten used to this over, like, say, mini blends or the season, was it season 6? No, we're season 7.
Season 7, yeah.
Sorry. They'll get used to it. They'll be like, oh yeah, we know start magic. It's kind of like the same thing with sword. Man, preset D.
Oh yeah, right.
that one
for the
with
testing
without
phase,
starting sword.
we had a couple of different things to choose from, and one of them was no starting sword, and I think also 4 dungeons.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, and preset E was dungeon entrance rando. And over the next couple of weeks, it seemed like quite a lot of runners like the combination of 4 dungeons plus dungeon entrance rando. So that's what we're running with now.
I enjoyed it. I was fairly partial preset D. The starting sword is like a few of the
No
stuff that you
starting
take
sword
for
is
granted.
very interesting.
It's very start like right here. What Gymnast is doing. Usually I'll do the I'll like side hop off, and then use my sword to get onto the ledge for the fly across. First time I did it without sword, I was like, oh, I don't have sword, and I just kind of fell off. And or like diamond step, like having to use the okay, Gymnast is good. Having to use the stick as a way to jump up on that little ledge to get to the second chest.
Yeah.
Just a few kind of weird things like that. You can't do cliff plat necessarily the way that some of these runners would. I think that was that Baron, or did they start with that? Oh, cliff plat was Baron. That's actually not too bad. I kind of like that.
Okay, first instance of creep on Kid's side.
Let's go.
Are we eating good today, fellow big creepers?
Watch him have leather. Would he just say, wait, is it yeah, he'd just say one of the arrows is on Windfall, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Well, your consolation prize is now you know where the last doors are.
Male, Dragon Roost, and Windfall. Okay, we got the Male and the Windfall bow, so we know that our lights are in Tower of the Gods.
That's a little kind of funky thing, yeah, is you think that and you're thinking maybe like DRC, at least I was thinking that for a second, but yeah, because of the dungeon entrance randomizer, you have to make that kind of extra step that, oh, that dungeon entrance is to here, so it's actually in Tower of the Gods.
Yeah.
And I like that, it's very interesting. I think that'll be a very defining feature of this season is, again, those dungeon entrance randomizers.
Yeah, and Jim not checking the dungeon entrance in the Tower of the God sector is kind of biting him now, because he's the only runner without magic and had to drink his soup now.
Ooh, yeah. Kind of feels unfortunate when you have to do that. I think I've had to do
that honestly, that's why I'm also very hard leaning towards just getting information as soon as possible. Both with the NPC hints, especially the ho-hos, and also for the dungeon entrance rando.
I'd agree so. I think that would definitely
especially with an entrance that is that easy to check, like the Tochi sector.
Oh, for sure.
Like, there's basically no reason why he would delay that.
So it looks like Hit's got magic. Yeah. Gymnast is the only one.
I could see that. Kenyan, good point, honestly.
Yeah, it's definitely out of all the changes, it's one of the more kind of, I would say, like just different things about this season. So, but again, we'll probably keep doing this a couple more times, and even better the second, even better the third, and even better the fourth time, depending on how many he decides to participate in.
Yeah. I guess that's one thing I'd like to ask him during the interview.
Yeah, if he was thinking about the dungeon entrance randomizers.
Yeah.
I mean, all of these runners seem pretty practiced, so I'm guessing Gymnast has put effort into practicing these. This might just be a decision that he made. They're getting bullied by the vines.
Nothing new.
Yeah, there's
not in terms of lyric, but for the vines.
Yeah, just in general. Absolutely, I'm one that has also been bullied by the vines.
Same. Yeah, we're absolutely not far from no mode.
No mode.
Like, with the combined items of every runner, we can full clear every single dungeon, even though DRC is out of logic. Wait,
no power bracelets
honestly,
yet, though?
honestly, I think we can narrow down the go mode, because we know that the last bow is in Tower of the Gods. Yeah, unless you don't care. I guess power bracelets, but yeah.
Interesting.
It's had a potential for a very quick seed, honestly, if you just route it right. As I feel like per usual in these settings.
I mean, I think a combination of no Jahala, no Mulgara,
Yeah.
and fairly decent item placement.
Yeah,
Other than, like...
Kit is pretty much in a mod, I agree.
That's not crazy. Yeah, Kit's doing fairly good over here.
Yeah.
Missing the grapple. Still, though, that's funny.
Yeah, just hasn't gone to Bomb Island yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, he knows where his last bow is. He just doesn't have information on grapple and the sword. It seems like Kit is now also going for Tower of the Gods.
I like that.
Oh yeah, so do I.
I mean, taking the inventory seems like... So Lyric has beaten Goma, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What else has she done? What other bosses has she completed? So obviously she's still in Forbidden, so Katie's... We already beat Helmrock King. Yeah?
Yeah, Katie will drop very soon.
We haven't. She hasn't gotten Skull Bracelets yet, or Skull Hammer yet.
Yeah, true.
So.
Lyric hasn't been to either Horseshoe nor Diamond Step so far. So she's gonna get her hammer and her second last sword on that route.
Nice to pair those two together.
Exactly.
Kit completed 2 bosses so far, so he's doing pretty good there. Gymnast.
Oh no, it's only Hammerrock Rocket, I think, because he didn't
really?
have
okay,
kill Katie, and
yeah.
I mean now he does with bombs and the bow.
Okay. Oh yeah, because Kit was gambling, I guess, on Boomerang. And
yeah,
left a little bit. I didn't see that. Too busy watching some of our other runners do some other stuff.
Yeah, but now I think it's fairly clear to assume that the path from Forbidden Woods was just the magic. Yeah, okay, and that's Kit basically a grapple from no mode now.
I like the strat Gymnast did to beat the Fines, hopping on top of that chest and then kind of leaf over with chest storage.
Yeah.
Bobby's partial to that trick. I believe Kit was instead falling under that. That's unfortunate.
Yep.
Kit prefers to just breaking them with the hook shot that he had. But both P-hats. You gotta hate them. One of the more annoying enemies that sometimes face, especially when you need to make a grapple.
I despise P-hats.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly,
I wouldn't mind in Season 9 just removing P-hats from the game. I don't think anyone would.
Yeah, Bobby saved quite a bit of time.
Oh, he do the boomerang strat.
Ooh, a nice hookshot time save by Jim. Small, but very neat. And getting knocked onto the vine by the P-hat. Very funny.
Love tap.
Yeah. Just giving Jim a smooch.
Yeah. Let's see here. So, yeah, we got Bobby and Gymnast both kind of just trucking through Forbidden Woods right now. Lyric, being a good grandson, also saving Grandma now.
Yep.
Got to see that. And yep, getting another little boomerang strat here. I like this one. But, ooh. There we go.
Ooh, gracefully avoiding the two.
The head knocking Bobby back onto the platform. Better than what's happened to me before, where it knocked me back into the water, and I'm just like,
Ah, okay.
yeah,
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Bobby now also getting his last shard.
the full
And
block of
Jim
cheddar.
will soon follow suit after.
Jim also falling victim to the vines. They cannot be escaped.
Nope.
We got from Orca. Joy Pendant.
Yep. Which is also hinted Baron. But mainly doing it for the Grandma Mail, of course.
Yep. More bombs. Very nice.
We do love our bomb bag expansion upgrades.
Yeah. I like my quiver upgrades the most.
Oh yeah, quiver upgrades are by far the best.
Yeah, in terms of items where it's like not needed but still useful, I would say quiver upgrade is definitely one where I'm like, okay.
Yep.
You.
Okay, what's in this chest here on Kit's side? Delivery bag. I was about to say, like, we have a lot of paper, but no means to access it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we do now.
Yeah. It'd also be interesting, since Gymnast does not have Boomerang, how to go about defeating Kali Demos.
I'll probably just gonna be sniping down the vines with his bow.
I can see that, yeah. There's a basically like what 4 or 5 different ways to kill Kali Demos or break down the vines at least.
Yeah, you can just use classic boomerang, you can use bombs, you can cut down the vines with normal arrows, or if you're really shooting at a really precise spot, you can also just really quick kill KD with fire arrows.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
as Kenny
also
already mentioned, we might see fire arrow strat.
Yeah. Not only is it precise, but I also think it's based on the positioning, so it's somewhat RNG based.
Grapplers on Bomb Island, yeah, on the Sphere Zero platform.
There's the cheese from Gymnast. We're seeing Lyric going down the bottom left side of the map.
Yeah.
Now let's see it.
Who's winning? I wanna say that it's looking the best for Kid Cod currently. Just a singular item from no mode, which is his grapple on Bomb Island. So he knows he can basically go mode DRC at this point.
Which would be very good for him.
Yeah.
DRC probably one of the faster dungeons, I would say, when it comes to go mode versus just full clearing, but it's still nice to have that ability to do that. And it could be one of those things where it's like it either punishes you if you go.
Oh, we have a chance for a vanilla bow right now.
Oh, please.
Let's go, vanilla bow!
That's funny. I love when that happens.
Oh, it is so funny.
Very good.
Okay, yeah, that is grapple basically from no mode, because I think if Kit gets a grapple before the power bracelets, he'll just probably also door cancel to ET.
Yeah, I could see that. That'd be fun to watch also. It was cool to see Kit, who was the group, Group Mulgara?
Yep, Group Mulgara.
Winning over Bobby in the grand finals. And I know he's also been practicing a lot with the Season 7, so it's nice to see that he's also staying in tip-top shape for these qualifiers.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Bobby is looking to activate the Dark Portal in Forsaken Fortress. So yeah, we'll get a very early barrier break. Now that I'm looking at the time, slightly belated happy 1 hour, everyone. I hope you're all enjoying the first restream of the first Wind Waker Season 8 qualifier. Please give it up for our runners, Lyric, Bobby, KitKat, and Gymnast86. Amazing showcase of their skill so far. Also, very big thanks to our 4 trackers, Kenyon, Clam, Laz, and Spread. Amazing job behind the scenes, keeping track of everyone's items. And also big thanks to my fellow co-com, Logar, for being here with me.
Thanks, David. What's Bobby up to right now?
Oh, activating the Dark Portal in Ganon's Tower.
Okay. That's
Oh
what I
no,
thought.
wait! Oh my god! Okay,
I
know what he's up to, because
Yeah.
I think there are, like, yeah, trial bombs. Is a
he
thing.
need extra bombs? I thought he already had some.
He didn't get the bombs on Orca.
Okay, because on his tracker I see that he has bombs already listed.
Those are the ones he needed. Oh
That's
my
funny.
god.
I like to see that.
This is so incredibly big brain.
That's funny. He didn't get them on Orca. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Yes, you can get bombs like this, Orca.
Mm-hmm.
It is incredibly niche, but it is possible.
I like that. I don't know if that's necessarily going to give him an upper hand, but it's nice to see that being showcased here in the first qualifier.
Yeah, I mean, with this, the tides can very easily turn, because he is basically one bow away from no mode. Because he can get the creep hint with the next bow.
Yeah. King Red Line,
which is just gonna be the bow on Manenko.
I mean, did we know about Orca? I guess we didn't know. We know about Orca being bombed, but
yeah,
Bobby might not. So
Bobby definitely does not know.
Yeah. So I'm wondering what he's up to when it comes to decision making to do those bombs there.
Yeah. Like in Bobby's mind, he's just evading a potential bombs casino. Yeah, as you can see, bombs in his inventory.
Lyrics storing Phantom Piano cutscene.
Yeah. Exactly.
Interesting.
And then just going over to Coral.
Cute strat. There's a couple second time saves, kind of fun to do.
Yeah.
Not much partial to it because of the way the camera looks.
Yeah. No, do not run. Trust in the power of the Master Sword.
That's funny.
Oh, this is very funny. Yeah.
Yep, Bobby going into Tower of the Gods. We also got
yeah,
everyone except for Lyric. Lyric's just off doing her own thing, and we've got everyone else kind of holding hands in the same dungeon a bit.
Yep, yet again.
Going up the Helm Rock. So we got Kit kind of restocking back on some bombs and some arrows from those item drops. Very smart.
Mm.
Okay, I'm not. Jim? Or switch Jim up to. Okay, continue with Taji.
Lyric is like, where are the bows? Yep. Lyric very likely just be where bows.
Yeah, I mean, probably gonna be back to back to back, just getting some bows. Kit, doing pretty good. He's about to, I guess he's about to finish up Tower of the Gods.
Yeah, he's just doing the tablet. He has brought back all the statues. That's another bottle.
Let's see it. So right now I'm guessing it's basically between Kit and Bobby for first place right now, it seems like.
Currently, it looks like it, yeah.
Yeah. Bobby, of course, needs 2 more bows, one of those being... Mineko.
Oh, and there are the power bracelets.
Who was it that said power bracelets in Tower of the Gods? Needed back.
I think it was Alka.
Okay.
Exactly. Shouts to Alka for apparently having the spoiler lock.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
This screams really hard. PBs and Tachi. Called it age ago. It kind of has to be.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I guess yes. It's one of those things. A general sentiment is like sometimes there's just like that one item that seems to be bottlenecking you, but for a few of those, like with what we saw Lyric do, there's ways to bypass it. With talking about Lyrics, you're doing a little dance. Waiting for
I'm currently not certain which sword it is that Lyric's missing.
Yeah, I can't seem to remember that. You have to look at the seer strap. Kit, though, doing pretty good for himself. Just has to finish, what is it, 2 more dungeons? And getting that power bracelet there, I guess, makes DRC a bit more easier.
Grapple was... Yeah, Grapple was at Bomb Island platform. Which is Sphere 0.
And I think for all these runners, they kind of like, that haven't done it, they realize that, and they're going to be like, that's going to be one of the first spots they check, so.
Yeah.
At least it's not like an obscure island they haven't finished just yet. Which generally, I mean, like for this season, we've gotten rid of a lot of the one-item island checks, like
We've gotten, I think, rid of every of the one-island checks.
Yeah, even like Crescent now has the submarine for that headstone. We got rid of that. Sadly, we will not see
headstone is excluded. Mother and Child's excluded. BPR is excluded.
I think that's a nice change. It's a welcome change.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I was kind of partial to Birch Peak Rock just because Crescent to BPR, but maybe we'll start seeing some runners, if they get the hook shot early, do BPR to Bomb Island with that clip that was found. I don't think we've seen a runner other than Bobby. Did Bobby do it? Yeah, Bobby did it, right, during the seed?
Not the seed, no.
Oh, he was practicing it, that was right.
Yeah.
Okay, beginning of this, before we saw our runners, Bobby was practicing a new skip where you can go into Bomb Island early using a chest storage and a hook shot. So.
And hey, there's Lurik's first bow.
Yeah, congratulations.
Immediately followed by Lurik's second bow. Here on Mineko.
Yeah, kind of similar to the routing Gymnast had.
Yeah.
Seen Bobby also do the platform cycle skip. Good job boarding off the bubble. Ooh, that was close. That's a cute little skip that's been... I've seen some runners be routing in because of the chest storage you grab from the floor 1 skip. You carry over to the, what was it, Dark Knuckle?
Yeah, the Dark Knuckle minibus room.
And that allows you to, yeah, Dark Knuckle, thank you. Allows you to skip the platforms by 1 cycle if you do a very precise jump off of the side onto the platforms as it's coming out.
Yeah.
I like that strat.
That's also Lurik's final shot here on the blue shoes.
Mineko.
Mineko, indeed.
Need to get a sound.
Oh yeah, right. Kid never did hop across.
What was in hop across?
I think nothing.
Okay. Kind of a little unfortunate since we know it's gonna be foolish, but it won't waste too much time.
Yeah. Lyric should now just rush the hints, like Creep and Coral.
Sadly for Kit, out of arrows, so we're going to have to do it the traditional way.
Yep, cannot do it the fast way. By just shooting the torches from afar. Instead, has to light a stick and jump over the boxes.
Yep. And greeted with a Baron chest.
Exactly.
Oh!
Oh! The Wizard of
trolling.
doing Jim dirty.
Yeah.
Greatfish Beetle is goated. Yeah. .G Beetle also having the same offer of selling 30 arrows.
Really?
Exactly. Is Yao also sad?
Oh.
Statue too close.
Oh.
Jim just getting bullied in this room.
Hey,
Oh my
yeah,
god.
like, when it rains, it pours.
Yeah.
No stranger to that with Bomb Island getting bullied by the Magtails. So it's when was it? Yeah, Magtails, right?
Yep.
Still getting used to. Okay. Slowly but surely, I'm learning all the names of all the kind of enemies that seem to show up mainly in Wind Waker, but then don't show up in some of the other games, unless I'm mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah,
These frustrating Wind Waker enemy.
Yeah, seriously.
Wind Waker has a couple of obnoxious enemies. Like we talked about Piats earlier, exactly. Magtails,
yes,
especially these keys in the .G scale room.
Yes. Pulling out a bow and it's like they're circling you and then they like hit you off, or you're going for the statue there to bring it back out and they're just like both circling it like two hawks on a dead carcass.
Yeah. Lyric does not know where her last bow is yet, but she hasn't done Mila at the start of the seed. So she decided to route it in alongside Creep.
Yep. Gymnast going for the old Cosmo Hop strat instead of going for the setups. Interesting to see him do that.
Yep.
And it looks like Kickot is just kind of doing his own thing, finishing out some of these overworld checks. Still has Katie, which already finished all of the relevant dungeon checks there, so just has the boss, and then Goma, which potentially will be good mode. I'd assume he's gonna probably check overworld first, but who knows?
Yeah.
Bobby also doing pretty good off for himself. He's gonna find his light arrow shortly, so that will be go mode for him. Yes,
exactly.
Okay.
Oh, let's go all-purpose bait. The best kind of bait.
Very much so. I mean, maybe Kit will be like, you know what? I'll go do Big Pig. Probably not, though. Or actually, maybe.
Okay.
That's actually kind of nice. Makes routing into Windfall a bit easier. And it looks like here we're going to go see Bomb Island, unless I'm mistaken.
Yeah. Okay, didn't pay attention. What's the matter, Akka?
Never mind, going back into Forbidden Woods to finally slay Kali Demos.
Yep.
I mean, so out of our two kind of front runners right now, I mean, it's gotten pretty close, actually, between a lot of these runners. I can't really tell yet just now, because that's my inexperience. Who's currently, like, if there's a super wide margin right now, but it seems like everyone's fairly close to each other now.
Yeah.
I guess one leg up that Bobby does have is that he'll be able to use the Dark Warp towards the end, so that's always something we gotta think about.
Yeah, true.
everyone else is gonna still be going through, which should be about like what, a minute or so difference.
Yeah.
In terms of routing, maybe. Kit going for the bomb strat.
Oh yeah, right. That's the sword that Lyric hasn't gotten yet. The fly across one.
Very nice strat from Kitcop. Fun to see both a bunch of different strats being used. Gymnast using the bow and arrow to shoot down the vines. Kitcop using the bombs to kind of have the blast radius clip into the flower and hit the main boss through it. That was always a fun strat when we didn't have barrier skip. We needed to kill off bosses.
Yep, that is Lyric now in go mode. Basically, just has to get the bow inside Tachi.
I bet she'll be feeling really good once she sees Power Breath that's there in her last dungeon. She'll be like, yep, I feel good about what I did there.
Okay, it seems like... did she not get the bow hint on creep? Oh wait, right. It's it might be because she also thinks it could just be Hoskett. Because that's also a DRI check. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, was it
Lyric
DRI?
did
That makes sense.
Lyric did door cancel into Headstone, which is why she was able to skip power bracelets.
I'm guessing that there's also like I'm guessing a spot where you could door cancel or chest storage into Wind Temple, yeah, or to Gale
Oh yeah,
Island.
I mean I've in an archipelago I've done recently. I've gotten into Wind Temple without Iron Boots or Hammer.
That'd be fun to see. I bet we'll probably see that a couple
Yeah.
of times.
Do you know the strat to like pause your momentum like you do in like the Ice Ring Isle Inner Cave?
Oh, the Wind Waker pool. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You can do the same thing for the Wind Temple entrance.
Makes sense.
Oh yeah, Arca did also did door cancel into Forbidden Woods blind without leave.
Oh.
Shoutouts to Tenjo at this point.
That's certainly a strat. If I've ever heard one.
It sure was, or it sure is. Like when I did the Wind Waker pull thing to get into Wind Temple, Arca was even there to witness that.
Nice. I'm guessing you still need Skullhammer, yeah? You just pull it out super quickly after you're near the statue.
Oh no, you don't need to pull out Skullhammer. You just walk through the stone.
Oh, it's not. It doesn't even have collision.
Yeah, it doesn't have collision if you door cancel.
Oh, door cancel. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But then if you do have the Skullhammer, then that's you don't need to door cancel it. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Can you get in with just the Skullhammer and then using the Wind Waker movement to pull?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
That's an option.
I'll be trying to go for. It seemed like he was trying to go for the shot there, but I guess maybe he saw the transparent chest was dead.
Yeah.
Makes sense. That's a fun snipe to do.
It is very fun. Oh, we have a spiky inhibitor, probably Iron Boots or a bottle.
Yep.
Iron Boots. There isn't much of anything left right here.
Yeah, it seems like Bobby's just doing this creep primarily as a check, but then also to get his light arrows for good mode.
Yeah, I mean, Bobby is a very strong creeper.
Is he?
I know that. He is.
Okay.
Bobby is a creeper in his heart.
So he knows where that is now. So Bobby has all his information that he needs. Kit is still just waiting on the grapple. So very much so, it's just going to be based on like the sort of item casino going on with these last couple checks in the overworld. Potentially, maybe deciding to. It's actually kind of weird that he has Goma still on, still with those checks. So he might be thinking in the back of his mind, is Grapple just in DRC?
He might be thinking that, yeah.
Yeah. But in general, I think he's probably going to stick with just clearing up overworld. We've got, okay, a gymnast. I'm guessing going to go do some of the mail checks, which we know will be leading to basically nothing.
Yeah. I mean, currently they have no business at Bomb Island, but it's just a free check region just lying around there.
Lyric about to get her final
bow. They will just go there. And that's slide arrows for Bobby, which does put Bobby in go mode.
That's insane to see, since I think it was like the kick out we had, and that was kind of a bit ahead in terms of items a couple minutes ago. And
yeah,
just like that, Bobby, it seems like it just had the items pull out in his favor a little bit, leveraging those hints.
Yeah, Lyric now also getting her go mode with the lights in the Dark Knight mini boss room. Yeah, it's basically the rest of Top G against a go mode DRC, but Bobby does have the Dark Portal, as y'all mentioned, yeah.
Oh, it doesn't still have to do?
DRC.
Okay, it looks like he has that checked off right now, which I guess he just did that because it's now go mode.
Yeah, he just marked off Goma, I think.
Yeah. Don't get to see this too often, though. Go mode DRC, usually that's one of the dungeons.
Go moding DRC is very rare. It's much more common to go mode Toji, T or Wind Temple. Even Forbidden Woods is pretty rare. FF is okay-ish, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine. There's a few cool strats that you can do with go mode Forsaken Fortress. I hope we get to see that at some point, either Hinted Baron or in other ways.
Yeah, like for you could, for example, store the chest on Mother and Child, then do a super swim to Forsaken Fortress.
Yeah.
And then just climb up the wall.
That's a fun strat to do.
Yeah, it's a strat that I mainly see Jim doing.
I know we saw, I believe it was Tanjo towards the end of the Mini Blends showcase at some point. That was a very nice thing to see.
Yeah.
And of course,
yep, and that is primarily the reason why I do not like doing zero cycle jump.
You also have just Deku leafing over, or good old fashioned just walking around and doing it sort of vanilla. Bobby free aiming in the last.
Yeah.
The last rope.
There we go. If we already could attach a leaf to the statue. Yeah. Oh, mirror shield on Southern Ferry.
Very nice. Actually, does everyone?
Oh yeah, true. That could have also been a spiky.
Yeah, everyone's gotten a shield. Nice.
Yeah. I mean, even if they didn't, they could just block the Zealous Light Arrow at the end with Skullhammer.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, because you can do that. That's interesting. Okay, I did not know that. That's an interesting little tidbit of information for me and
it is very neat to know.
Block with the Skullhammer.
Oh yeah, and Kid cannot do the fast strat for the southern platforms because he doesn't have Boomerang. That's like the one place where a Boomerang actually saves time.
Yeah, exactly. is able to break some
platforms.
of the bombs with, or some of the cannons with the bombs, so that's at least nice.
Yeah.
And it seems like he's just gonna, is he gonna drop back down? Yeah, and just kind of like peek the chest. One useful thing about this season, and also from Missing Blades that I like that's carried over, is chest type matching contents.
What is Lyric doing?
Can't say, but it looks like Bobby will probably be ahead. Ooh, wait, okay, I know that strat. I know that strat. That's what
Yeah,
I wanted
I've
to
seen that one as well.
That was cool. My favorite one in particular is the where you can sit on one of the 2 pedestals and you can like side hop back and forth.
Oh yeah, this I like to call it scale skip, where you do like 6 or 7 precise side hops and just skip the puzzle altogether.
Yeah, that's really fun.
I've seen like a video of that strat, and it was so cool that I thought like, hey, maybe this would be cool to learn, but it is so incredibly hard.
Yeah, I think I tried it a couple of times and it was just like, there's a reason you don't see that too often from winners, if at all, is because it's very marginal time save and incredibly difficult. But it looks stylish as all get out.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kit probably is probably pretty annoyed at this point, only missing grappling hook, going through all these checks, only for it to be at Bomb Island. I mean, like we said, it was a Sphere 0 Bomb Island.
Yeah.
So maybe to any Sphere enjoyers, that can be their kind of leg up, is understanding where some of these last items are, whether they're Sphere 0 or higher up. Generally, I'd say I'd probably go for the Sphere 0 checks.
Yeah.
Very
From my experience, that's also more helpful to rather check lower sphere checks instead of higher sphere ones.
Mm-hmm. You need items to get items. But Bobby right now just finished Goma, so all he has left to do is Puppet Cannon, and based on how we've seen him practice, that's gonna be pretty fast.
Yeah, Bobby will be done in 5 minutes tops, I want to say.
Yeah, honestly, like, very, very fast seed. Like, probably on the faster side. Generally, I've seen, at least from my experience, like, it hovering around the 2-hour mark, like 1 hour 45 to 2 hours, sometimes 2 hours 15 minutes. This will be done in, like, under 145, I want to say.
This, yeah. For Bobby, he'll be done at around 135 even.
Yeah. That'd be a really good time. Hit now heading out to what looks like
Angular.
Angular again. Okay.
Back to where it all started.
Yep. It's funny how it comes back around.
Yep.
Bobby using his Dark Warp portal. Nice.
Yep, very smart to have activated that earlier, especially in combination with the bombs.
It seems like that did help him, which is nice.
In the ET trial.
Cool to see that he got rewarded for doing that.
Yeah, just got to skip Orca.
Yep. There's the power bracelets. And it looks like Kit will finally now be going to Bomb Island, which we know has the last item.
Same for Jim.
Yeah, looks like they're both holding.
So I'll be expecting a very close finish between Kit and Jim.
Yep. Seems like we'll be getting Bobby in first, at least, out of our 4 runners.
At least in first for the restream. Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say, is out of our 4 runners on screen right now. Seems like it'll be Bobby, then Lyric, not too far behind, and then close race between Gymnast and Kit.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
let's take a look at that top right corner, see what Bobby does with his puppet cannon.
And both Kit and Jim now also being in go mode. Yeah, that's the other side of the Season 8 settings. Just a potential really big casino for a singular item. Yeah, at least they didn't go into the RC and wasted even more time.
I mean, actually, not thinking about it again with the idea, like, a lot of these items should just be anywhere. I like the idea that Bobby just decided, you know what, since I'd rather not check all of these different spots and maybe not get it, I'm just gonna go for the guaranteed spot.
Oh, and that is GG's to Tuba.
Oh, really?
Very fast time of 1:32.04.
That's crazy. That's cool to hear. The main kind of pusher of Dungeon Randomizer, someone who was testing it a lot during kind of like the preset development cycle of this Season 7 Randomizer. Cool to see
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
He's doing good with that. Awesome. Yeah, 132.
Yeah, Tuba did extremely well.
Okay, I'll have to rewatch his POV later today.
Yeah,
Right,
it's absolutely
kind of-
insane.
Hope everyone else also kind of checks him out, because that sounds like a nice little.
Oh, and
place
nice
to watch.
truck shot by Bobby.
If there's one thing I know from Bobby, he loves to practice his puppet cannon, and it seems like he's gotten past that point where it's like, you know what, we're going for the style. So and it's cool that you get that consistent too. Let's see how his rope climb is. Oh, okay. Keep going, Bobby.
Yeah,
Ooh,
very
okay.
nice. Yep, rope climb. Got very high up.
Yeah, I like that. I'll try and usually I might greed and get a bit higher, but most of the time usually I'm falling back down and kind of cursing at myself for even attempting that.
Yeah, usually I'm going for like halfway or 2/3 of the way there, and also very nice grapple skip by Bobby. I've adapted that same strat as well now because I feel like it's much more consistent for me personally.
Right. Okay. I'm
Because I only
100%.
have to do one perfect backflip instead of 3.
Yeah, exactly. Like just at the very end there. I've
Yeah.
also found myself after switching to it, just way more consistent. So if any runners feel they want to add in grapple skip towards the end of Puppet Cannon, I would suggest going to, I believe it's the ZeldaSpeedRuns Discord, that there's someone who found it. Correct? I believe it's somewhere out there. Or just rewatch what Bobby does. It's a very consistent, at least in my opinion, skip.
Yep. And that is GG's for Bobby.
Time of 1:35.
With a time of very clean 1:35.
Yep. Just need to get the milliseconds to 0:0.
Exactly. Oh, and that's Alex also finishing in 3rd place with only 12 seconds behind.
Ooh. Bobby sniping Alex.
Yeah. Extremely close.
3 minutes ahead is definitely like, that's a pretty well off margin, especially with these players being really good.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, and we got Lyric just about to enter Ganon's tower. And then, of course, Kit and Gymnast kind of both neck and neck right now. They've both got all the items for go mode, both skipping the boomerang, but working their way through Goma. Not the most, like, fast boss in the world, just because of all the cutscenes. So,
yeah.
it's kind of just a bit of a snooze fest going on right there for both of them, I'm guessing. But then we've got Lyric up here about to come up to Phantom Ganon.
Yep.
Yeah, it'd be nice to watch her puppet cannon. Different
Getting
setup
ground
than
spawn
I
on
would use.
Phantom Cannon.
It's a nice spawn. You just kind of turn backwards, shoot him, you're chilling. At least whenever he's flying around, sometimes it can be a bit difficult to kind of track him down with just the targeting system, because he'll kind of dodge and weave the arrows like he's Neo in the Matrix.
At least with ground spawns, you're absolutely sure that he'll always spawn right behind you. So you can prepare for that.
Both of our bottom runners being rewarded with a rupee from Goma. I believe that was what I that was a little thing I commented earlier, was getting
Oh yeah,
a rupee
right.
from Goma. It's like, yeah, that'll happen.
That still sounds about right.
At least it was a bigger rupee, so it's like, at least it wasn't like a 1 rupee.
Exactly.
That's why like a kind of slap in the face.
Yep.
Nice. Okay, refilling out some arrows like that from Lyric.
Oh yeah.
Full on magic. One thing about kind of the magic bar, you'll see this sniper real quick, is light arrows take up, there's kind of like those different gradients on the magic. Right, you have like the darker green and the lighter green that alternate.
Yeah.
Magic arrows take up 2 of those, or take up one kind of gradient of the bar is 2 magic arrows worth.
Yeah.
That's kind of like a nice thing to know.
So yeah, in total you can shoot 16 light arrows with full magic bar, and I think it's double that for Fire and Ice. Okay, do we get the? Okay.
Oh, that'd be cool.
We do not
Okay.
get the cool snipe.
I haven't even thought about that. That'd be kind of cool. It's like a nice little backup strat. Yep. Very clean from Lyric.
Yep.
And then again, yeah, basically Gymnast and Kit kind of holding hands here at the end of the race. It's gonna kind of come down to who has the cleaner puppet cannon.
Yep. It's just gonna come down to puppet cannon execution at this point.
I'd be interested to see what Gymnast comes up again. One of the kind of racers we haven't seen, at least with mini blends. All of the 3 racers on screen returning from playing in mini blends. I believe all of them were in Mulgara.
Yep. All of them were in Group Mulgara.
Interesting. Okay. Gymnast would very handily probably have also been in Mulgara, but I think just didn't want to play the mini blends.
Yeah, probably not as interested in middle blend settings. I want
That
to
was
say.
good settings though. I want to say that was like, it was very clean. Very
It was definitely a
short,
shakeup
very
from
cute.
the previous middle blend settings.
Really.
Because season 1 and season 2 compared to each other felt very samey.
Okay, I enjoyed that season very much. So, hats off to the kind of team behind the scenes for changing the settings to that. So,
Oh yeah,
very
absolutely.
Very
Yeah.
nice introduction.
Big shoutouts to the
Windows
organizers of the community.
Yeah, Kit coming back from mini blends has been probably a bit more practice with puppet cannon, I'll say, in terms of point application. Definitely a spot where nerves can get to you, but Gymnast not necessarily someone who is not experienced with doing randomizers, with doing speedruns. And
yeah.
being under pressure, especially when it's seconds that count. So I'll be interested to see what his kind of strats are, because I know bait strats have been, or bait bomb strats have been something that cropped up with, by the way, courtesy of Bobby. Very fun, very consistent for the second phase of puppet cannon.
Yeah,
Kit,
Bobby made
I feel,
it.
will do it.
Bobby made the bait strats, I think, way more popular for PG3.
Oh, PG3, yeah.
The point
PG2.
where a bunch of other runners also use it, myself included, if I get bait back
Absolutely.
before I go to Hyrule.
Yeah. I mean, it also makes setting for a trog shot and getting that time save much more attractive, just because you know where
exactly.
phase 3 is going to go, so you can kind of like get behind the tail in a much more faster fashion. Lyric here doing the other strat for... Ooh, very nice. The other strat for grapple skip.
Very nice grapple skip as well.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just whatever you feel
Getting
most
the park
confident in.
slide.
Very nice. Ooh, that was okay. I swear that looked like it hit the spot for on Kit's straight hand. Seems like it just missed a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit too low. Also, I don't know how I feel about a dark blue tail, at least on my screen. Ooh, okay. Still neck and neck.
Yeah.
Definitely the
close,
recolored
the two of them.
is a bit hard to see on the backdrop, at least when I'm watching right now. Probably different on the runner's side, obviously, but I definitely am more partial to just the blue color to what KitKat has, just so you can see that tail a bit more easily.
Yeah.
Okay, now we got potential for a
nice animation cancel, or like cutscene cancel, and that is GG's for Lyric.
Ooh, very nice double crypt shot from KitKat.
Yeah, Lyric finishing with a time of 1:42.44. Very, very solid time.
Gymnast is also going for the double crypt. Oh, okay, singular. Very nice though. Okay, going for the Trog shot. Oof. Up again, kind of toying with him.
Yeah. And that's PG3 down for Kit.
Okay, but Gymnast keeping it still very close. Got a very nice kind of good RNG on that last kind of slithering around.
Yeah. I'm currently seeing that Bobby is in the waiting room, so I'm just gonna pull him in for us interview.
Good.
Hello, Bobby. GG's.
GG's.
Yeah. Well done. Great time, honestly. With that 1:35, really on the faster side of most season 8 seats, I want to say.
Yeah. Bobby, what are your initial impressions with that seed?
Pretty bad in the beginning.
Okay, I'm just gonna hold it right there because I'm also gonna pull Lyric in real quick.
Okay. Why did I
Hi, Lyric. GG's to you as well.
GG's.
Okay. Lyric, I'm gonna ask you the same question. What were your initial impressions of that seed?
Well, now I know to never door cancel into Headstone because it was not the play of the seed.
I mean, I kind of liked it. It was very
it
nice
was fun, and that's what matters.
Yes.
Honestly, as one of the few people who also, I think, regularly eyes the door cancel into Headstone, I absolutely appreciate that.
Well, yeah. I was thinking, because like I figured no one else would do it, and I was like, power resets are probably nowhere near. And I was like, I could probably just do this. But also at the same time, doing dungeons that you don't know have something in these settings is not ideal.
I'd like to turn your guys' attention to Gymnast versus Kit. A failed grapple skip has now turned the tides, and it looks like Gymnast is going to finish ahead. Ooh. No, Kit still finished ahead. Just
Kit beats Jim by 3 seconds.
Okay. Not the closest I've seen. I've seen races come down to the milliseconds. Shout out to some of my.
And Sledge also finishing 5 seconds behind Jim. Wow.
Okay, that's cool to see.
Oh,
yeah, that was a very
what
close
a
finish.
crazy end game.
Yeah. GG's to Kit and Gymnast keeping it close at the end.
Yeah,
there.
I'll pull those two also in really quick.
Oh.
GG's to you two as well.
Alright, hello. GG's, yeah. So today I learned not to say yes to Orca when he gives you the option of wanting to fight him, and that you actually do need magic to turn in the Knight's Crests.
Yes, that is true.
Like,
I-
why do
why?
Orca? Why do Orca? Like, I don't need Orca.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Oh wait, did you do the bomb strat that you were thinking? Oh,
Yeah, he did. He did. It
man.
paid off pretty well, I would
Wait,
say.
so why? Wait, did you just not have spoils bag when you went to outset? Is that why? Or like,
I was like, I had all Trivars in Hyrule, so yeah. I like, let's go to the Dark Portal and grab bombs on the way there.
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, initially I only thought like, oh, Bobby's gonna activate the Dark Portal, but when I saw you make a detour towards the ET trial, I was like, no way we see this happen on restream.
Oh yeah, that is a thing you can do, huh?
Yeah, the bombs in the trial there, that will be what you usually get with Orca. So Bobby did not have to go do that at all. I mean, Bobby, I'm kind of curious, at least with going with that, what was like your decision making in the moment there to go into Hyrule necessarily early to get bombs?
I was hoping that DRC had only bombs, and yeah, that's the only reason why I did that.
Okay, so
Actually.
you don't have to go mode DRC instead.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Very
I would
fair.
say pretty good intuition. It was somewhere else, but generally I would say that was like a very heads up play for you, and definitely something I will yoink for some of my future success.
I already know that if the opportunity comes up, I'm just gonna completely forget about it.
That's also a possibility for me too. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff that went on with the seed, but I asked Bobby, it seemed to not really enjoy the seed despite getting a very good time of 135. Tuba Man, I want to say, or is it Tuba Man?
Yeah, Tuba.
Kind of sniping, which was really interesting. He was not on the restream, but he got a time, I believe, of 130 something.
132.
132, yeah. So
Yeah, if I did Minenko, I could have go moded most of Dodgy.
Yeah, that'll happen. But I have the similar question for KitKat and Gymnast on just initial first impressions of the seed. Really just initial impressions.
I honestly, the seed wasn't too bad. I think that what really got me was just like the fact that it gave you a bunch of swords and shards really quickly. Like by
Yes.
very early on, I kind of knew where all my shards were.
Yeah.
And so a seed like that with these settings kind of lends itself to a bit of a casino with a lot of like the dungeon-based checks, and that's the position I found myself in, looking for bracelets and much more so grapple, and I ended up looking for grapple for quite a while, and that's kind of what destroyed me a little bit this seed. But I feel like I played alright. I'm still getting used to like the small things here and there. Like I did take a few warps here and there when I really didn't need to. I could have done Orca a while ago, but I didn't realize that it was like that you don't really need the grappling hook because you start with all the spoils. So like I looked at my tracker. Oh, I can't do this. No, I can't, right? So I would have done that earlier. Otherwise, not too bad.
Yeah, I'll say just as the last thing about the grapple is like you were talking about, that was a tier 0 check.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. I think also the Windfall to Goma kind of threw me off slightly because I knew that was probably Leaf, but in the back of my brain there was like a slight chance. Okay, but what if it isn't, right? So that's why I was very Windfall centric at the end. Was just like, I don't know, just in case, right?
Yeah, there's just a lot of open world
It
checks
makes
at the end there, which is unfortunate, but
yeah.
Overall, very fun to watch. What about you, Gymnast? Overall impressions?
I mean, I think it was fun. I definitely didn't play it correctly, and definitely learned some things. So I'll always go into Orca with magic this time and say no, so that I don't lose like multiple minutes just on that one check.
Yeah, at least it was right.
I swear
in
like in some ancient version of the randomizer, you were just given magic there, but I guess that must have been reverted at some point.
Yeah,
That seems like it.
especially when you're
also
spamming through the text. like at least for me, I've done this before where I accidentally like spam through A and choose yes instead of no.
Yeah, I've done that as well.
Not the first, probably not the first one to do that. Definitely not the last. But yeah, I think it was at least on the commentary side, and I'm sure also on the viewing side, that was very fun to watch. We were talking about, at least with Lyric, doing, I think being the only one to do the door cancel for the headstone was definitely kind of like a lone wolf in terms of the routing generally. Like a lot of times you three, Kit, Gymnast, and Bobby were kind of like doing the same thing while Lyric was over here in the top left. Somewhere completely differently.
I mean,
Yeah.
I shouldn't have done it. I had a full Forbidden Woods to do, but I was like, this will be funny, so I did it.
I mean, you're already an outlier in the general routing, I want to say, because you got both the grapple, the grapple, the boomerang, and the bombs way earlier than
grappling hook was like
all the
first
other
check,
three.
so that was lucky.
Yeah, you basically went immediately to Bomb Island and got that grapple right off the bat. Which was very interesting. And meanwhile, all the other three were just basically, at some point, you all were all three in Forsaken Fortress, Forbidden Woods, and Tower of the Gods at the same time.
Oh, nice.
Oh wait, wasn't it it was Kit and Gymnast. It was like towards the beginning of the siege, you both were basically like frames away from each other with the Great Fairy, which was really funny to see.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice, yeah. Yeah, I guess one question I have is like, what was everyone's go mode actually? Because I imagine it was like different in some.
Mine was the bow and PUBG.
Oh wow.
Vanilla
Mango.
bow, by the way.
Yeah, vanilla bow, yeah.
Really cool to see. What was it, Bobby? Sorry.
My goal was Manenko Lights, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
Go mode. Yeah, my go mode was Sphere Zero Grappling Hook.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Sphere checkers be winning. Started doing that myself.
Yeah.
It's definitely interesting to do. A bit different than having the privilege of doing just like massive sphere checks that you're doing. But it can help in those certain situations where it's like.
I guess like, okay, one other question, because I see this on the tracker where a lot of the spoils checks have that grappling hook requirement. Even though we start with all of them, is that still a logical requirement, or is that just the tracker saying that?
It's a logical requirement.
It is a logical requirement.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so...
None of the 12 checks are in logic before you get both spells back and grapple.
Okay, so so in this seed, looking for grapple in all the bum locked locations is more or less pointless.
Yeah.
Yeah. And anything hookshot locked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I noted for next time.
Everyone's got at least another 3 qualifiers.
Yeah.
Again.
Absolutely. I guess the one thing that's still kind of on my mind for Jim, the decision to lay off the Toji sector entrance.
Ooh, yeah.
What led you to delaying that for quote-unquote so long?
I think it was kind of just like, it was only on the edge of my mind that it existed. And I was like, like, even if I can get into a dungeon, the only dungeon I'd be able to really do anything in would be DRC, and I don't want to go in there until I have grapple, which I don't have.
Ah, okay. Gotcha.
So, yeah.
I think it was one of the kind of unfortunate things was you didn't have magic for. Well, you also had, I believe, it was get fire and ice arrows.
Yeah, I got fire and ice arrows before magic.
Yeah, that was kind of a bit troll. And it turned out to be in, I believe, those Forbidden Woods, the first chest.
Yep.
Yeah, at some point I was like, well, the Forbidden Woods hint has to either be boomerang or leaf, or sorry, not boomerang. It has to be boomerang or magic. And if it's magic, it has to be in one of the first 2 chests.
Really, what I was seeing, I saw some others do this. They would just like they'd go check it early, and then go check some of those first chests. Yeah, it was a little bit unfortunate that magic just happened to be there. Especially when you have Fire and Ice Arrows, it's just like, oh, I can't use these. They're worthless.
Yep.
Or then pull out Leaf and you don't have magic, and you're like, oh, I'm falling.
Yeah, but I think that was the question that I had remaining,
Yeah, just magic.
basically. Okay. Any other final words from either of our runners or from you, Logar?
I think I've got all my questions done. I think it was very fun, very entertaining to watch, and look forward to the rest of them.
Gotcha. Then I think we'll take the time and wrap up the restream for the first qualifier race of the Season 8 tournament for the Wind Waker Randomizer. Please give our runners a follow if you haven't already. Lyric, Bobby, KitKat, and Jim. Big thanks to our 4 trackers, Kenyon, Clam, Les, and Spread, for keeping all the trackers nice and up to date. And also big thanks to my fellow co-commentator Logar for commentating through this incredible seat together with me.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah. Let's see. We'll go right over to Zeldathon right now. I think they're all currently playing Majora's Mask. Hope you have a fun time there, and I guess see you tomorrow for the next qualifier at 3 p.m. Eastern. Will hopefully also get restreamed, and until then, have a good one. Bye bye.